Annoy a furry? Well, firstly, why would you want to annoy a furry? We're so cute. But, maybe you've been in the fandom, or you're feeling a bit rusty on it all after, 2 years of not doing anything really furry.
Not being able to go anywhere.
Refresher. Or maybe you're just really curious to know what kind of ticks us off as a fandom. Well, there's quite a few things, and today we thought we would take a look at just some of the ways you could annoy us if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
And use it as an educational piece on how you can avoid annoying us, maybe. So, what is our first way that you can annoy a furry?
The media!
Ah, the media, right. Now, this is something that can really annoy us, because now I'm going to clarify here before I even go into this that, yes, it is getting a little bit better.
Yeah, over the last few years, we have seen some more articles that are definitely more furry friendly.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten a little bit better.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there is still a large amount of the media that kind of sees us as this novelty or kind of weird cult
strange
or,
people.
Something entirely X-rated that's just easier to trash on them. For every good furry article that you can find on, say, Vice or one of those other news articles, you'll find a bad one. And I mean, then you'll see like
Metro over here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I know there was something in New Zealand, something produced like a positive piece on furries and how they run the internet, which we really do.
We really do.
And then I saw some kind of media hate group type thing put out their own news release trashing us and just saying we're all like evil and whatever. And yeah, again, it's a case of misunderstanding, but of course, when it comes to like media, it's the usual shock sells. Saying we're a nice bunch of people who just do charity work a lot of the time is a lot easier than saying that we're weird and creepy and, we're stealing things.
And let's not forget things like media turning up to furry events and trying to get in or trying to get their story, or even independent media people who haven't actually got a story yet, but are just trying to fish for somebody to accidentally spill the beans.
Bad editing and news reports. I mean, I've obviously got an email address to the channel. I've been contacted by members of the media in the past.
Oh, God.
Notably, Lad Bible. And, one of the things they always ask me is they're like, I'd love to ask you some questions about the fandom, and sex is always like the third thing that they mention on the email. Sometimes it's the first thing they open with.
Do you go to the shops in your fursuit? Do you have sex in your fursuit?
It's all they want to know. All they want to know is that stuff. They don't want to know about the charity stuff, they don't know about the cons, the other stuff that we also do, the nice stuff, no, it's just that. And I know other fandoms have that problem, but the media really pisses me off.
Yep.
Brands trying to be furry.
So again, this kind of relates to the last one a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose this is no different than, say, we get the rainbow washing every year.
Yes, the rainbow washing of the LGBTs, that's very similar.
Same kind of thing.
So
companies trying to get money out of us for basically trying to go for the fandom as a place of revenue. And
this is quite a new thing, I will say. Up until probably about 2 years ago, furries and brands was a very taboo thing. Now, I mean, the thing I can think of
that's basically what
recently is that tweet from Skittles.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to be furry or something and trying to come, and then I believe Boozy Badger did a contest of like drawing not safe for work art with the Skittles packet. That ended well for them, didn't it? See, this is what you get. This is why brands shouldn't go after furries or try to market to us now.
Yeah.
If you really want to be a brand that's in touch with furries, I don't know, make cooling solutions and things that help us for fursuits and that.
It's quite funny because brands would be quite happy to have a go at us when we come after them, like the Frosties thing. They won't take that in jest. But on the other hand, if we can generate money for them, they're quite happy to do whatever they need to do to get us to do whatever they want.
And this is the thing I like about the furry fandom is it's very self-sufficient. We've got most of what we need inside our own fandom.
They don't like that in some
respects.
respects.
It's great because you can buy very internally. And compared to, for example, my experience when I was in the cosplay fandom, it was not that.
Yeah.
But then again,
if companies could, they would happily have their own branded fursuits, their own branded equipment, and they would sell directly to us and make shitloads of money out of it. And that.
But yes, no, it's definitely, and I really hate it. I think of that meme, the "Hey you kids," type meme.
Yeah.
And that's how I always feel in brands. It's like, hey, let's go off the furries now. We can get some of that fuzzy dollar.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Not yet, anyway.
Next, please.
Exposure!
Now, this is something that I think maybe artists are going to feel the most here, and that is exposure. The whole, hey, can I get a free piece of art from you? I'll give you exposure. Look, I've got 2,000 people on Twitter. I'll expose you. I'll get you more business. Doesn't work like that, does it now?
No, it definitely doesn't. I mean, you have to remember that at the end of the day, these artists are putting in their time, their effort, and most importantly, they need to make money most of the time. Like some of them even need it to live. You can't sit there and say, I'm going to give you free advertising, because that just simply doesn't ever work.
No, and it ends up actually being quite worse, because if people learn that you got all that artwork for free, people go and chase after that artist even more.
Oh, even more so. And I've seen that happen.
You gave this person free art.
Yeah, why not me?
Why can't I? I want that.
I've got more followers than they have. Why can't I get the same kind of artwork for nothing?
Yeah, and I mean, truth be told, I mean, I don't tend to just necessarily go on people's Twitter accounts myself and commission people based off what I see, because I'm promoting it. I make a very big decision about buying it. And I wouldn't want to feel like I'm ripping an artist off.
No.
I mean, it's not just artists. I've seen it done with musicians.
Oh, God, yeah.
I know our camera bird Richter has had that at least once. From, You know, he's done some art and music.
Fursuit makers. I mean, I have to admit, as a fursuit maker myself, the amount of times that people have found out I'm a fursuit maker and then gone, oh, you make fursuits. Well, if you make me a head, I'll make sure that I take it with me to this convention, and I'll make sure that anybody who says anything and says, hey, you know, where did you get that head from? And say, oh, I got that from so-and-so, you know, and it's just ridiculous. It's like, why would I do that? I don't need the extra work.
NFT!
Now this is a very 2022 thing.
Oh, isn't it?
Oh, now here's something I wish would fuck
off. A nest of vipers has suddenly appeared.
Non-fungible tokens. I think it is fungible, isn't it?
Fundable.
It's that crappy bloody crypto thing where people basically use artwork and they put a token. I'm not
Snake oil salesman, basically.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into explaining it. It's not worth my time. I'm not going to waste your time. Basically, they are shady bloody things that are bad for the environment, and most NFTs do seem to be based largely on stealing people's artwork.
Yep.
And obviously, what do furries have a lot of?
Loads and loads of artwork.
And the fandom is also filled with artists.
Yep.
And, you know, it doesn't matter. It could be your artwork.
Yeah. And sadly, a lot of them don't have legal people behind them. So if you get it stolen, they've got nothing to come back with.
No, I mean, you can chase after some of these places, shut it down, but there's very little to do. And this is the thing, you know, if you're an artist producing art, or you've had art produced for you, the last thing you want to see is some crypto bro selling it for whatever on the blockchain stuff. That, you know, so I'm going to sound like an old man here. Damn you kids, get off my lawn. You know what I mean.
Man screams at cloud.
Last thing you want is your picture being sold for money and you being told that you're no longer the owner of it because some kid in, you know, Oregon has purchased the token for your art. It's crap.
It's the
absolute crap. So no fucking thanks is what I think NFTs should stand for.
Yeah.
And I think collectively as a fandom, I think that's largely the opinion.
We need to fight it as well.
Yep, NFTs piss furries right off.
Unauthorized hugs.
Now here's something I think probably, I would say probably 70-80% of the fandom has experienced.
And I'd say it's even worse nowadays with the current situation.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that is hugs that you just don't have permission for. I like hugs.
Oh yeah, me too.
I give hugs, and I get that I'm probably quite soft and fluffy, and you know, you might see people at a con, you've not seen them for maybe, you know, 3 years, and you want to give them hugs. And why not? I'm fine with this. The problem comes is when you don't ask and you just run up and hug people.
Yeah.
Hug them from behind, that's even worse.
Hugging from behind can be dangerous as well if you do it hard enough. You could actually hurt someone's back for forever.
But it's the sheer lack of consideration that people don't have.
Yeah.
Maybe this person doesn't like to be hugged at all.
No.
Some people don't. I can understand that. There's a personal space issue here.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't be hugged. Maybe it's medical. Maybe they've got like bruised ribs or something. Something like that. You don't know. I mean, my back's not great.
No.
If someone came up and hugged me massively from behind without me knowing, it could make my back go bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really, really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, again, in the current situation as well, permission is even more needed.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the thing. If you come up to me and say, hey, Shadow, can I have a hug? of course I'll hug you. Heck, you don't even have to say that, you just have to do the open arm gesture.
Yeah.
And I'll normally acknowledge back. And you're the same.
Yeah, I'm absolutely the same.
We're all largely the same.
Yeah.
We're not saying we don't like hugs. We're not saying we're down with hugs.
Oh, God, no.
It's just we like to not be asked. And, people don't like being hugged. They're not being picked up. Don't do that either. I've seen that. I know someone who was injured at a London Fur Meet because they got picked up.
Oh, picked up and carried away, and it hurt their back forever.
And again, just stuff like that is silly. It's small things, but go a long way. But yeah, unauthorized hugs really annoy us.
Yeah.
Mishandling of fursuits.
And of course, hugs rolls on to this category, I think, quite well.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much right there. Where do we start with this one?
Oh boy, mishandling fursuits. Right, well, first and foremost, it doesn't matter how much someone paid for their fursuit is likely incredibly special to them.
Oh God, well, most special thing to you, basically.
Exactly. So they could have made it themselves. They could have spent $25,000 on it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pulling things, poking things, prodding things, yanking things, grabbing things, twisting things, kicking their bags. You name it.
I've seen a lot of things recently with people coming up and trying to set up a picture that they want to set up with props that they have with them, and doing stuff to people's fursuits by opening their mouths or pulling their stuff to get these things without their permission. And that is, I would lose my shit over that. I'm sorry. Because it would hurt. You can ruin someone's suit. You can rip someone's suit. You can do, and of course they don't care because they just want this picture that they've got in their head.
And it can be great fun to pull someone's big fluffy tail because it's fluffy. Yeah, it's connected to a belt and it will rip it.
Oh God,
damage it.
Or sometimes connected to the suit.
Granted that tends to happen more when I'm fursuiting in public, and it is a risk that you do run with the public.
Yeah, members of the public unfortunately are the most.
I mean, I may be able to understand why it happens a bit more there, but it still doesn't mean it doesn't piss me off.
Children. Oh no, the children, no.
But, I mean, you've got
my tail alone.
You've got big ears. You've had people come up and wipe your ears and try to fold them and that. Your ears aren't movable.
These ones aren't.
Express care and caution around other people's fursuits in that sort of thing. And, that same goes to if you see someone's fursuit bagged up in a changing room or somewhere, don't go and put your giant heavy bag on top of it.
Oh, I've seen that a few times.
Have some consideration, especially if there's a head in that.
No idea if there's a head in there or electronics even nowadays.
I mean, I get that the fursuit lounges, for example, can sometimes be incredibly busy and it can be hard to find space, and that's fine, but rather than just go, boom, my suitcase on here, maybe just gently move it aside first, or even just ask if anyone around knows.
Absolutely.
So, just a bit of courtesy around fursuits, otherwise you're going to piss furries off.
Mm-hmm.
So, there we go. Those are some ways that you can really annoy a furry. So, watch this video, read those things, write them down, and don't do them.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button, ring that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel for more content.
Yep.
If you'd like to support the channel, there's a link to our Patreon below, as well as our merchandise store, where you can find some cool Shadow Raccoon t-shirts and, of course, Yay Bears merchandise. I'm Shadow Raccoon.
And I'm Theodore Rabbit.
And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.